The way I kind of see the difference between Confucius and Taoism is Confucius is more about do the right thing. And you guys are already doing that. You go to school, you're working, blah, blah, blah. Do the right thing is Confucius. Lao Tzu is kind of more like do your own thing. Taoism came from a book. The name of the book is called the Tao Te Ching. And it's spelled T-A-O-T-E-C-H-I-N-G. But that's not how it's pronounced. Tao, D-A-O, the word T is pronounced like a D. So the Tao Te Ching. It's a pretty interesting book. If I were to boil it down to just two things, and remember, this is 500 years BC. Somebody said, you know, there's an origin to everything. But how can we comprehend it? How can we know it? What are we going to call it? Let's call it the Tao, the way. So, for people of the book, for them, the word Tao might be Allah or Yahweh or God. They left it open-ended. It's not a personal theism. It's just the way. They left it open. They felt that the human mind couldn't comprehend it. So they acknowledged the idea that there was a source of all creation, which is completely different from other people who feel this is just a random act, something that is just an anomaly. So there is a source, but we can't know it. It's everywhere, but you can't hold on to it. It continues to nourish all the living things. So the next question is, if there is a source of all creation, and we call it the Tao, just to have an open-ended term, how do we live in conformity with it? Well, look around. You're not going to see it in the city. But remember, China was an agricultural, still is an agricultural society. And most of their experience comes from rural understanding and farming. And the way you live in harmony with the Tao is look at nature. Go out in the park. Take a chance to see how nature remains in balance. Be in balance. And that's what this diagram is. This diagram is the Tai Chi diagram. And they can't hear you back here. Then they need to move up. I'm not going to speak any louder. Those who want can have. Those who don't won't.
What? Shoot me one. Shoot me one. Shoot me one. Shoot me one time. One look. Just one time.
This diagram here is the essence of Taoism. It's kind of interesting. You've seen it a million times, but you don't know what it is. It is the balance of complements. You have day and you have night. You have male, you have female. You have fire, you have water. All of these things are not necessarily in conflict, but they're continually evolving. And you can use this in any number of ways. One of the ways that this became visible is in the Chinese martial arts. The idea is if someone is strong above, then you go below. If someone is strong, we'll do a little push hands later. This is also the secret of the war of the flea, what Frantz Fanon called, or guerrilla warfare. How did we lose in Vietnam? We had the bombs, we had the planes, we had the guns, but these people dug 3 levels of tunnels underneath each other. They were never there. We were never able to face them and fight them. And as a result, they wore us out. What's going on in the Middle East? We never get a chance to do anything except run over IEDs. So this philosophy is a workable philosophy. And if you take the time to understand it, you'll see how it works. I do have a article on the Tao Te Ching and the Art of War, which references Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, all kinds of things. You might find it very interesting. Taoism, there's 2 kinds of Taoism.